Good morning, everybody.
Good
Morning. Wow. What an amazing audience. At 9 a.m. at South by Southwest in the rain. And we have like a full room. How cool is that? Okay, well, we are absolutely honored that you're here. I know every moment at South by Southwest, there are like a million great things to do, and you've chosen to spend this morning with us, which is great. I'd like to thank you and all of our panelists and all the people watching at home. And I would like to thank Walmart for its super cool VR demo downstairs, which starts at, is it noon? At noon, so please check that out. So we started this event 6 years ago to bring just a small group of friends together to talk about tech policy. And every year it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And I have a theory as to why that is, right? So it's just like we no longer talk about the tech economy. Now it's just called the economy, right? And also we should no longer talk about tech policy, because now it's just policy, because tech has percolated into every single aspect of our day-to-day lives. And that presents huge opportunities and huge responsibilities. So today we've pulled together some amazing experts to talk about these innovations. And we're going to talk about a range of technologies, from robots to AI to flying cars. And we're going to talk about, I think, what may be our greatest challenge, which is how to prepare our workforce and how to prepare our future workers for a 21st century economy. And we're going to talk about what we need to do as companies, as policymakers, as users, to make sure these technologies expand opportunity and grow our economy while strengthening our society, right? That's our responsibility, and we all have roles. So I talked about the experts on stage, but this today in these panels, they're not going to be about people talking at you, okay? The beauty of South by is that always the audience is full of highly qualified experts. So we're going to leave plenty of time for Q&A, and please jump in. And also, please jump in online and use the hashtag IPD 2019, IPD 2019. So speaking of highly qualified experts, let me introduce our first speaker. We are pleased to have Michael Kratsios help us kick off Innovation Policy Day. As the President's top technology advisor, Michael has led the development of the administration's technology and innovation policy agenda since inauguration. He's been instrumental in developing national initiatives and strategic plans for artificial intelligence, quantum computing, advanced manufacturing, STEM education, 5G and broadband communications, driverless vehicles and commercial drone flights, and he brings impressive technology expertise to the policy world because before joining the White House, Michael spent over 6 years in Silicon Valley investing in and advising technology companies, most recently as a principal with Teal Capital. So finally, for those who have not seen it, I would like to call your attention to the 2018 Science and Technology Report released last month by the OSTP. And the report shows just very impressive progress in advancing the industries of the future, from rural connectivity to advanced manufacturing to STEM education. And as you all know, getting anything done in DC is difficult. Getting a lot done in DC is amazing, and Michael has gotten a lot done. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Kratsios.
Thank you so much for that generous introduction. Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Michael. I'm so excited to be here at South by to kind of kick off Innovation Policy Day. As was mentioned, my office at the White House is charged with advising the President and his administration on how to effectively support the development of technology and generally for the benefit of the American people. And our general sort of top-line goal is to ensure that the world's next great technological triumphs and advances are made in America by American workers for the good of the American people and really true to American values. That is why the President, in his State of the Union, said that we must, quote, deliver new investments in the cutting-edge industries of the future. And we must invest in these industries to create new jobs, to increase the security of our homeland, to ensure the well-being of our nation and the prosperity of all of the American people. Now, the President has focused on emerging technologies really from the beginning of the administration. I think, as many of you know, we have had an intense deregulatory agenda, and that includes removing barriers to innovation. And we cut nearly 12 regulations for every new one that was issued, and we calculate it to be worth about $33 billion. We've also fiercely defended intellectual property on the world stage, and he's also ordered the development of bold national strategies to retain our leadership across a wide range of technological areas. Now, this morning I want to spend a little bit of time focusing on 3 industries of the future that have been a top priority for our administration, and those would be 5G, quantum computing, and artificial intelligence. Now, beginning with 5G, American leadership in emerging wireless networks, specifically 5G, will support our advances in almost every other technology going forward. Being first to 5G added nearly $100 billion to U.S. GDP in 2016 alone, and we are working hard to maintain our advantage as we move towards a 5G future. Now, the President has taken significant steps to promote private industry deployment of these next-generation technologies, focusing in particular on infrastructure, investment, and network security. Now, the President issued a memorandum directing the development of a national spectrum strategy to guide the policy decisions that govern the radio frequency waves that fuel the wireless networks. He also issued a memorandum making federal assets like cell towers available for commercial use, and he signed an executive order streamlining the permitting process for siting wireless infrastructure on federal lands. Now, as directed by the President, my office is also exploring new enabling technologies for 5G that will improve the capacity, latency, coverage, and speed of our wireless networks, as well as how these developments will impact the future development of spectrum. Now, as we move to a widespread deployment of 5G, we want to ensure that all Americans are prepared to reap the benefits of this great technology. Next, I want to touch a little bit on quantum computing. This administration has really, truly made historic efforts in this particular field. In September this year, for the first time ever, the White House convened over 100 quantum experts, including Nobel laureates and representatives from 13 federal agencies. We discussed how our administration's science-first quantum strategy and what we can do to retain American leadership in this field in a very contentious geopolitical environment. Now, the big news there was that we signed in December the National Quantum Initiative Act, and that was bipartisan legislation used to accelerate the development of quantum computing. And this particular piece of legislation coordinates the federal government's support of quantum. It allocates millions of dollars to R&D and calls for the creation of a number of quantum research centers. And our office is going to be focused over the next year in implementing this landmark legislation, and we are excited for continued progress in this field. Now, finally, I want to talk to you a little more detail about our artificial intelligence strategy. And I was at a panel yesterday, and one of the moderators mentioned that they counted up the number of sessions here at South by that mentioned artificial intelligence were related to it. And I think it was a neighborhood of like 45 or 50. So I think it's safe to say that no technology in 2019 has captured people's imagination more than artificial intelligence. And our administration has taken action and will continue to ensure innovation in this field that it is a source of excitement for our nation rather than one of uncertainty. Now, 1 month ago, we took the boldest action yet on AI by launching the American AI Initiative. To put it briefly, this initiative has 5 key components that truly tries to touch almost every aspect of the impact that AI will have to the country. So first, federal agencies will be prioritizing their R&D investments in AI. It will be improving public access to and the quality of federal AI data to drive AI research. And we're also going to be allocating high performance and cloud computing resources to AI-related applications and research and development. Second, federal agencies will work together with industry and academic institutions to develop AI-related education and workforce opportunities and deal with the impacts of automation. Third, federal agencies will also work to build public trust by exploring regulatory and non-regulatory approaches to govern new AI applications. Our goal is to promote innovation while protecting Americans' civil rights and liberties. Fourth, the administration will prioritize the creation of new technical standards needed for AI development and deployment. And lastly, the AI initiative calls for a strong action plan to protect the AI advantage we have from adversarial nations. Now, the American AI Initiative was the culmination of nearly 2 years of work that we have taken to advance AI in the United States. Some of our most strategic documents, including the National Security Strategy and both of our research and priorities memos, have incorporated AI into federal plans for the first time in history. Though we can't reach our full potential in AI without government support, government couldn't and shouldn't act alone. We hosted our first of its kind White House Summit on AI for American Industry last March, where we brought together government, academia, and the private sector to make sure that the actions and investments are as effective as possible. And during the summit, we announced the creation of the Select Committee on Artificial Intelligence, which is made up of the most senior officials in the U.S. government to coordinate a wide range of artificial intelligence efforts. Now, at the same time, the administration is protecting our greatest strength, and that is the American people, through the National Council of the American Worker, which is addressing workforce changes caused by AI and automation. Now, we have been hard at work, and we're going to not stop. So I welcome everyone listening today to work with us. Tell us how we can improve. Join us as we develop our new strategies and plans, and let us know how federal policy can be used to enable innovation and generally protect the American people. I also invite all the entrepreneurs here, maybe in the audience, with scalable, investment-ready companies to join our administration at the Global Entrepreneurship Summit that will be held at The Hague this June. We're trying to bring our best ideas to this worldwide gathering, so please look up GES and do apply. Ultimately, this sort of collaboration is not a supplement to our policy process. It is at the core of the philosophy that governs how this administration approaches every industry of the future. From the very beginning of our history, we know that America's innovative strength came not from government planning, but from the people. Whether they are in laboratories or in libraries, on the job or at home, on factory floors or in the fields, it is the people who overcame old problems, challenged flawed assumptions to create the wonders of technology we all enjoy today. As our nation developed, our technology advanced and our achievements increased. Government began to play a more active role, but always a supporting role. Through targeted investment, a light regulatory touch, and instituting some necessary rules of the road, government joined industry and academia to create the most successful, innovative ecosystem the world has ever known. Consulting and working with this ecosystem, we have engaged the whole of government to develop and apply emerging technologies using each agency's particular expertise and with a mind towards their particular goals. This holistic approach extends beyond internal government operations. The federal government has worked with major stakeholders. We've continued to fund basic research and development, and we've broadened our aperture to support and advance emerging technologies across their entire life cycle. Most importantly, we have made a commitment that we will do everything in our power to preserve American superiority in the industries of the future without ever compromising our values. After all, there is nothing in the world worth gaining if it means sacrificing who we are as Americans, and it's who we are that has made us great in the first place. So we will continue to champion freedom, human rights, and the rule of law. We will protect privacy, free and open markets, and intellectual property. And we will defend people's rights to earn their own living, to shape their own future, and to stay and build in their own communities. Together, we have embarked on a great national project with the brightest minds at work, with the vast resources of our great country, with the unshakable will to know and do more, and with the uncompromising devotion to our citizens, we can create the greatest technologies the world has ever known and shape them for the common good. So thank you and thank everyone, and I hope you enjoy the rest of South by Southwest.